not what your country can do for you.
The explosive growth in the number of people who have discovered the power of the internet for learning, marketing, and just plain having fun has been incredible. The internet is changing the way we learn, work, and play forever. Today, some 35 to 40 million people from around the world are linked together through the internet, the world's largest computer network. Students of all ages are discovering the online power of the internet as the ultimate tool for learning. Whether you're in grade school or college or beyond, or you just want to be entertained and have a good time, the internet has something for everyone. But before we go too far, let's take a moment and have a look at just what the internet is and what it takes to start surfing through cyberspace. You may already be a net surfer, and you may want to skip this section. But if you are just starting out, we suggest you spend a few minutes getting familiar with some of the most common internet terms. You'll need a device to access the online world. That device is a computer with at least 386 power and 8 megabytes of RAM, and has a modem installed that has 14.4 or greater speed or baud rate, and of course, access to a phone line. If you have a slower modem, you will not be able to enjoy the growing multimedia aspects of the internet, such as graphics, sound, and video. You will also need a connection to the internet that connects your computer to the millions of other computers that make up this superhighway of information. This connection can be obtained in one of two basic ways. You could join an online service such as America Online, CompuServe, Prodigy, or the Microsoft Network.
Traditional ones that you see today, like CompuServe, America Online, Microsoft Network, are all providing enough internet connectivity for the novice user to get their feet wet and understand the technology, and from there determine if they really want to go with a full-fledged connection. And so that's one way of approaching it from the technology standpoint.
Any of the online services, such as America Online, will provide you with a connection to the internet, along with a navigation tool called a browser, which enables you to move from location to location anywhere in the world.
Or they can go direct with products like Spry has a great product called Internet in a Box. The disadvantage of going direct is it requires a little bit more knowledge than using some of the other services, and it's for a little bit more experienced user. But you can get directly to the things you want, as opposed to gateway software interfering with where you're going. The first key, though, is that if you want true internet access, is to find an internet service provider in your area. And that's really the best way to do it for pure internet connectivity. So I would suggest finding the local internet service provider, which you can find in any of your local papers. Try to find one that has a good reputation. There are some national companies, excuse me, as well as local companies. And of course, price varies, 800 number access varies, so it depends if you're a traveling person or just a local person needing connectivity.
Parents concerned about their children avoiding unwanted content may want to sign up with a major online service where you can be assured that their own content is filtered, and then have your child advise you when they are going directly onto the World Wide Web and provide parental supervision as required. There are software packages in development that will assist parents in locking out unwanted internet content in the future. The internet has been around since the 1960s, but it was the development of the Mosaic browser in 1933 at the University of Illinois that made it possible to simply point and click your way to information that not only contained text, but also graphics. Now the average person can enjoy the full potential of the internet, and especially the fastest growing part of the internet, called the World Wide Web.
A World Wide Web site, from the standpoint of someone who hasn't worked with it, is it's a location on the net where you access information, and what they do with those sites varies from one organization to another. The basic premise of a World Wide Website is to have a location that people can come to get information. And what's so powerful about using the internet and the World Wide Web is that site just has actual pointers to other sites that have other information.
We will be using the terms homepage and website throughout this video. A website is like a book that is divided into chapters. By clicking on the hypertext links, you choose which pages you want to view in the book. A homepage is like the first page of the book with a table of contents and general introduction into what is contained in the site. A website has an identifier called a domain name. The domain name identifies the location or address of the computer that contains the website. This address is called a URL, which means Uniform Resource Locator. The computer at this address could be across town or on the other side of the planet. A URL beginning with HTTP gets you to a website on the internet. FTP, which means File Transfer Protocol, is a URL that brings you to sites where you can download certain files from the internet to your computer. News takes you to news groups where you can communicate with other internet users on specific subjects. You'll also be learning about Gopher, a one-stop source for finding the internet information you are looking for. And last but not least, email, still the most used feature of the internet. Most communication on the internet from person to person is done using email, which is an electronic message you can send or receive. Your email is like your personal internet post office box. That's just a few of the basics to get you started. It's time now for your personal tour of the fun and entertainment available on the internet. Imagine being able to get the latest sports scores, play games, check out the latest movies, make travel plans, and do much more, all without leaving your home. When it comes to fun and entertainment, the power of the internet is unlimited. To get started, we have to sift through the vast amounts of information on the internet and find what we need. The best way to do this is by using one of the many search engines available. These sites gather the information that is out there and categorize it so we can narrow our search. One popular site to do this is called Yahoo. We'll enter its URL and start our search. At the end of this video, we'll show you the URLs of the sites we visited so you can check them out for yourself. We first enter our URL for Yahoo, http://www.yahoo.com. This brings us to the Yahoo homepage. Normally, these sites would take a few seconds to load to your computer, but in the interest of time, we are cutting to them through editing for the purposes of this video. At the main Yahoo screen, we are faced with general categories that Yahoo feels will cover most areas of interest, like arts, computers, and the internet, and so on. Let's start looking. A fun thing that tops everyone's list is travel. Under the heading Recreation, there is the subheading Travel. Let's click on Travel, and we are taken to more travel subcategories, such as air travel, boating, health, and more. Clicking on these would take you to more categories and finally some links to worldwide websites to visit. But let's say we want to narrow it down from the beginning. We want to take a family trip to Los Angeles. Let's go to the Yahoo full search screen, enter Los Angeles Travel, and hit the search icon. Yahoo is now searching its huge database of internet information for sites that contain the words Los Angeles and travel. Let's see what we get. Now we are faced with blue hypertext links to other websites in the world. Any one of these will get us closer to the information we're looking for. As we scroll down our choices, we find a link that says About Los Angeles for Visitors. We click on it, and it takes us to different areas of information we need. Let's now look at things to do with kids. Now we see everything from Disneyland to Universal Studios and which beaches are the coolest ones to visit. Now we have some good general information on what attractions a family could enjoy in Los Angeles. From here, you could get even more details. Clicking on the Universal Studios site, for example, would take you to their website where you could get complete information on the attractions available there. There are more links to the websites of everything on this page. You can keep finding more and more information until you satisfied your needs. As you can see, web searches keep leading you to different paths of related information. Using a search engine like Yahoo is a great way to get started on the World Wide Web. If you travel a lot, here's a website to keep in mind for your next trip. It's called The Weatherman. It's a great weather site filled with links to many other weather-related sites, and it has a very unique aspect to it. In this site, you can fill out a short questionnaire outlining your travel plans, mainly where you are going and how long you're going to be there. The Weatherman will email back to you a full weather forecast for the place you are traveling to. Here's an example. Tell the Weatherman you're going to Hawaii on September 12th. The Weatherman will generate a weather profile for you that looks like this, complete with a map and 5-day weather forecast. It can sure be of help when you're trying to figure out what clothes to pack on your vacation. Speaking of weather, this is a good opportunity to explain a little about how gopher sites work. We must leave the World Wide Web for a second and through our internet software go to the area that lets us look at gopher sites. Gophers can be a one-stop source for finding information on the internet. This particular site has many categories to choose from. Let's keep our same subject, weather, to see how this differs from our Yahoo search. On this list of gopher sites, we choose a gopher called Weather Everywhere. When we open it, we see more subcategories that narrow our search. From here, we can look at the latest U.S. radar weather map by clicking on this icon. Once it's loaded, we can view the image and save it if we wish. Or, if we want a weather report for a particular area, we can do that here as well. Choose the folder Forecasts for 50 States. Choose a state, and then choose a city. And there you have it, the latest weather for Sacramento, California. Okay, that's enough of traveling and weather watching. Let's see what the Internet has to offer regarding the great American pastime. No, not baseball. Shopping. The Internet has thousands of sites for shopping, and many of them are grouped together in large Internet malls. As you can see from this Gopher site, we have some choices for shopping sites here. But to get the full impact, it's back to the World Wide Web we go. Let's try a different search engine this time. We'll use another popular one called Web Crawler. I've entered the search word shopping, and the web crawler comes up with these results. As we've seen before, any of these choices will lead to even more choices. Let's choose one. The Mega Internet Shopping List sounds promising. We click again on that hypertext link, and we get a long list of malls. This could keep a super shopper busy for many days. Some malls are specialized, like the Edu Mall with educational offerings. But we've got to choose one, and I like the Internet Mall. The name just kind of says it all, doesn't it? Here we are at the Internet Mall, just one of hundreds on the World Wide Web. As you can see, we can do searches here if we are looking for something in particular, or choose from various categories below. But usually when we go shopping, we have a need to fill. Let's say we want to get Aunt Bertha, who lives across the country, a gift for Christmas. We enter Christmas in the search area, and the mall comes up with 26 matches. These sites have the word Christmas in their description, so it's a good bet there are great ideas for gifts here. As we scroll down, we see a heading called Gifts. This is what we are looking for, so let's click on it. This takes us to an entire section devoted to gifts. Choosing any one of these sites will bring you to their homepage, which is kind of like electronic window shopping. You can look in their window and decide if you want to enter and browse around and perhaps even buy something. Let's look at one store we found. If you're looking for toys, here's a great place to go. White Rabbit Toys. From their homepage, you really are looking in their front window because of the graphic here. We click on the link entitled Browse Our Selection, and we are faced with a list of toys that are available there. This first one looks interesting, wooden toy trains for kids. The next page shows different models, and by clicking on one of the small pictures, we produce a bigger picture of the toy that helps us in our buying decision. When you are ready to buy, click on the order page. Find the items you want, fill in the purchase information at the bottom, select your gift wrapping, and you have just purchased some lucky child a great Christmas or birthday present. Remember, we have just given you a small taste of what is available on the internet in the area of shopping. There are malls and stores from all over the world, and the number is increasing every day. We have much more to cover in our cyberspace journey, so let's keep going. While shopping may be a great thrill for some, for others it is computer games that provide pulse-pounding virtual thrills. If you love games, you are going to go absolutely crazy over what the internet has to offer. In general, here are some of the game-related items available on the internet. There are sites set up by players that have hints and tricks to help you out when you get stuck on a game. You can play games online with people across the street or across the country. There are thousands of freeware and shareware games available to download for free. Now remember, even though you can download shareware games for free, these game developers will ask that some small payment be made to cover their efforts. It's usually $10 to $15. You don't have to pay, but if you think the game is good and you're going to keep playing it, it's a good idea to pay the small price for the hard work these people did. The big software manufacturers have sites with online help and demos of new games that you can try before you buy. Nintendo's site has news about new games, old games, and everything in between. There are hints and tips galore, and the opportunity to email your questions and comments back to the people at Nintendo. Okay, it's back to the World Wide Web to search for online games. Let's go back to Yahoo for our search. As before, there are two ways to do it. Go to the main search screen and enter your search words, or explore Yahoo's general categories to get you started. Under the heading Recreation is the subheading Games. A click here brings more choices. Do you want billiard games, board games, card games, or other choices? Let's look at computer games. We click on this and it takes us to a list of different sites that can keep us very busy exploring. Here we will find hints and tricks, demos, live online games, and loads of shareware and freeware. In this site is a list called Great Sites to Download Games. Now, depending on our interests, we can choose from many sites worldwide where we can download games into our computer. Let's pick one called the Happy Puppy game site. At this site are games of all descriptions. We can now click on the game we are interested in. I think pinball looks good, so let's download it into the computer. Now, this can take several minutes depending on the size of the game, but once you have it in your computer, follow the install instructions and you are ready to play pinball. Now, if pool is more to your liking, here's a nice simple pool game to play against the computer or a friend that we downloaded from the internet. Now it's a quick trip back to the Gopher site to look at games in a different way. From the best collection of PC and Mac software icon, we can go down and click on the Games Archive. This will lead us not only to game software, but other application and productivity software. We click on the Kids folder, and we can download a game called Kids Christmas. Pretty easy, isn't it? Here's one more site we found that is worth a look, since it can turn your computer screen into a 3D computer screen. The site is called the 3D Riddler. If you follow instructions and you stare long enough and the right way at this graphic, it will appear three-dimensional. Once you see 3D, you have to make decisions on where to move next in the picture to solve the puzzle. It's a great illusion and a lot of fun for the entire family. Whether it's movies, television, music, or magazines that entertain you, the Internet, as we've seen already, has something for everyone. The entertainment industry has discovered the Internet as a great way to create interest in their products. Let's return to our old friend Yahoo and take a look at what is offered in the music area. Under the heading Entertainment, we see our 4 choices. Let's start by seeing what appears when we choose Music. Again, we have more subcategories to choose from. Everything from artist sites to composers, from movie soundtracks to music history. Speaking of history, here's a great site to visit if you have any interest in the musical style known as rock and roll. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame website is the next best thing to traveling to Cleveland to see the real thing. From this site, you can get a true education on this most American of art forms. This cyber tour of the museum lets you hear music clips, visit the different areas of the museum, check out some trivia questions, and much more. Other music sites on the web allow you to hear music clips of brand new bands no one has heard of yet. Find lyrics to your favorite song and shop for CDs online from numerous CD store websites. Let's search another entertainment choice. Television, the first great global communication device. Before the Internet, that is. Again, more subcategories to choose from. Everything from video production to satellites, from TV news to the latest ratings, it's all here. As we click on the Companies category, we get a listing of all the networks that have their own websites. From here, we can visit CBS and look at Letterman's Top 10 list. Go to NBC and download a video clip from Leno's monologue last night and look at their schedules to see who their lineup of guests will be in the coming week. That's just a small sample of the information you will find on those 2 sites. On a different note, the PBS online site has great areas of information for people who enjoy the programming brought to you by public broadcasting. You can look at featured articles, do some shopping at their store, and look at the listings for the coming week. The Discovery Channel's website offers viewers and non-viewers alike many different ways to discover their world. This informative site has information on the environment, people, aviation, science, and much more. And if you are a Discovery viewer, this site has a great way to check out the listings for your favorite programs. Go to the map of the month you want, click on a day, and up comes a listing of the programs available. Choose the ones you want, and a description of the programs will follow. If it's sports you're after, ESPNnet from ESPN Sports has information on all sports to keep even the most die-hard fan interested. Besides the latest news and sports scores, there are some great articles, interviews, and other sports-related information. Speaking of sports, let's jump back to Yahoo for a moment. This is another area that is chock full of information for sports fans of all ages. We see the usual listing for baseball and football here, but we also have some unique areas such as boomerang, broomball, cheerleading, and many others. Let's again pick one area to explore. How about golf? We now have a list of links that can take us to courses that have their own websites. There's online shopping for golf equipment, where the latest tournaments are, and there's probably a site to help improve that chip shot. Since we're back at Yahoo, let's continue with our entertainment search. If we click on Movies, we will discover that many of the movie studios today have gone online. One of the most popular sites for checking out what's taking place in Tinseltown is Hollywood Online. At this site, you can keep up with news of the latest releases for movies, see a movie trailer, or download a video clip from a movie you'd like to see. There are audio clips, reviews, and posters to look at. Hollywood Online makes it easy for you to communicate with other people who share your interest in movies by offering news groups that you can participate in. Let's look at one more area in the entertainment category. While it's still great to pick up a magazine, hold it in your hand, and read it, online magazines on the internet can go a few steps further to inform and entertain. Earlier, we mentioned the benefits of Nintendo Power Online. Many more magazines are joining the internet with online versions. And there are online magazines being developed that never have been in print. The internet has everything from Hot Wired magazine to a great site from Time magazine. At this site, you can search for information by subject, look at past articles, and enter many more areas that we don't have time to mention. Besides being fun, it's also a great source for doing homework or research on current events. Another unique type of online magazine comes from companies that want to provide online information as a service to their customers. Price Costco, a large wholesale membership shopping center, provides small business information, an online version of their magazine, and many other areas of information that they feel will be of interest to their customers. What we have shown you is one small drop of water in the vast ocean of information that awaits you on the internet. At the end of the video, we will list some of the sites we visited so you can go back and visit them on your own. You've got a lot of exploring to do, so surf wisely and have a great time.